Stop everything for a moment. This is not just a message. This is a divine interruption. Archangel Michael is not whispering today. He is not arriving gently. He comes with urgency, with fire in his wings and power in his voice. This is a spiritual emergency. Something is happening around you and heaven refuses to stay silent. You are being ordered, not asked, to open your heart, your awareness, your soul, because time is not waiting. Forces have moved, energies have shifted, and your spirit has been placed at the center of a battle you cannot see with your eyes, but you have felt it. There is a heaviness you've been carrying that doesn't belong to you. Maybe you felt it as exhaustion that no rest can fix. Maybe it's the sudden fear that creeps in at night, the strange sadness that rolls in like fog, or the silence between thoughts that feels deafening. This is not random. This is not emotional chaos. This is spiritual warfare. Archangel Michael is issuing this emergency call because something dark has tried to invade your field. Not just once, but over and over, in subtle ways you may have ignored. That is no longer an option. You must open now. He shows me a soul surrounded by chains, but the chains are not physical. They're made of guilt, of confusion, of silent wounds that were never spoken aloud. Chains forged by betrayal, by ancestral pain, by spiritual clutter passed down through lifetimes. And now those chains have grown heavier. Archangel Michael is not asking you to carry them anymore. He is standing beside you, sword raised, voice booming through the unseen realm. It ends now, but you must awaken. You must listen. You must open. You are not meant to live numb. You were not meant to walk through this life disconnected from your divine fire. But life, pain, and people have tried to dim you. Some of them didn't even know they were doing it. Others did it with full awareness. Either way, your light began to flicker. But Archangel Michael has not forgotten you. He has watched you cry alone in the dark. He has seen you pray without words, just tears. He has stood at the edge of your battles, waiting for your soul to call his name. And now, he's not waiting anymore. He's here. Right now. Because your spirit is on the edge of something massive. This is not just a season. This is a turning point. Your energy field has reached a threshold. If you don't open, something within you may collapse. But if you do, if you open now, divine alignment will rush in like water through a broken dam. But you must be honest. You must admit the truth you've buried beneath busyness, beneath smiles, beneath survival. You've been hurting. You've been questioning everything. You've been hearing that quiet voice inside you that says, something is wrong. That voice is real. That voice is sacred. That voice is Archangel Michael shaking your soul awake. He says you were marked for a purpose, but purpose does not mean ease. In fact, the more powerful your destiny, the stronger the resistance. You've been under spiritual attack because you carry something that darkness fears. Clarity, compassion, vision, truth. The enemy doesn't care about your appearance, your job, your income. What it fears is your awakening. Because once you remember who you are, you become impossible to manipulate. And that is what Archangel Michael is fighting for now, your remembrance. He's showing me flashes, moments in your past where you nearly gave up. Times you felt invisible, moments where you begged for a sign. And now, this message is arriving like lightning in the dark. Not a whisper, but a roar. This is a spiritual emergency. I order you to open. The phrase repeats like a sacred drumbeat in the spirit world. Every angel in the higher realms hears it. Your ancestors hear it. Even your higher self, the version of you that remembers everything, hears it. And they're all surrounding you now, urging you to respond. You may feel a rush of emotion as you hear this. That is not weakness. That is activation. That is your soul remembering. You were not meant to simply survive this life. You were meant to transform it, to walk with light in your bones, with divine fire in your words, with angelic purpose guiding your every step. But first you must let go of the lie that says, You're fine. You're not fine. You're called. You're chosen. You're in the middle of a spiritual storm, and it's time to step out of the false calm and into truth. Archangel Michael is not sending this message because you're broken. He's sending it because you're ready. Ready to see. Ready to shift. Ready to rise. He sees the enemy trying to infiltrate your mind through self-doubt, distraction, comparison, fear. He sees the invisible cords tying you to people who no longer align with your higher path. And he is standing at the threshold of your soul with a divine sword, asking only this: will you open? This is not about religion. This is about revelation. This is not about fear. This is about freedom. Archangel Michael says this spiritual emergency is not here to destroy you. It's here to expose what no longer belongs in your energy. This is a sacred purge, a divine recalibration. You may be feeling emotions rise unexpectedly: grief, anger, guilt, even rage. Let them. These are not random emotional waves. These are trapped frequencies surfacing, old chains uncoiling, buried pain asking to be seen. Don't suppress them. Don't run from them. Face them with light. Because Michael is here to fight with you, not just for you. There was a moment in your past where something cracked. Something inside you that was once soft turned guarded. Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe you had to grow up too fast. Maybe the world felt too sharp for your sensitive soul. That moment, the one you rarely talk about, created an invisible wall around your heart. You still smile. You still function. But that part of you, the part that felt safe to be open, stayed hidden. Michael saw it. He never forgot it. And now, he is calling that hidden part of you back to life. You were never weak for shutting down. You were surviving. But now, the emergency isn't about protection anymore. It's about resurrection. It's time to come back to yourself, to open, to feel, to breathe again from the depth of your being. Archangel Michael is clearing the noise around you, the false narratives, the conditioning, the guilt that was never yours. He's burning away the psychic dust that's been clouding your intuition. That voice inside of you that you used to trust? It's returning now, stronger, clearer, wiser. You may have noticed strange patterns lately. Repeated numbers, electronic glitches, vivid dreams, emotional flashbacks. These are not glitches in your life. These are spiritual pulses, alarms from the angelic realm, warnings disguised as synchronicities. Michael says these are signs you can no longer ignore. They're not meant to scare you. They're meant to break you open. Because heaven is no longer operating in whispers. This is a time for direct alignment. There's a vision Michael is sending now. I see you standing barefoot on sacred ground. Around you is a circle of light, pulsing with ancient symbols. Your eyes are closed, but your soul is awake. The wind shifts, the sky darkens, and from the heavens Michael descends, armor glowing, eyes full of purpose. He says your soul is older than this lifetime. You have faced darkness before, and every time you rose. This time will be no different. But you must remember, you must release the illusion that you are powerless, because you are not. You are the storm breaker, the pattern ender, the light bearer. Yes, this message may feel intense, but that's because it has to be. Too much is at stake. Your gifts are ready to bloom. Your path is being rerouted. Your destiny is calling louder than your fear. And the energies that once controlled your narrative, fear, shame, confusion, are now trembling. Because light has entered the room, and light always demands truth. You don't have to understand everything right now. You just need to respond, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. Take this moment to acknowledge what's been denied, to see what's been hidden, to welcome what's been waiting. Archangel Michael is not knocking. He's standing in the center of your soul, declaring, "Open now. or remain stuck. The choice is yours, but the protection, the guidance, the divine power, it's already here, and something sacred is about to be restored. There is a part of you that already knows this message is not just words. It's a mirror, reflecting the quiet battles you've fought alone, the moments you stayed silent when you were breaking, the nights you couldn't explain your tears, the times your soul felt like it was drowning in something you couldn't name. That inner storm, the one you've learned to live with, is not your true nature. It's the weight of energies that were never yours to carry, and Archangel Michael has come to cut them off, once and for all. He's not here with comfort alone. He comes as a commander, as a divine force that refuses to let you be swallowed by what was sent to destroy you. The sadness that lingers without reason, the confusion that clouds your clarity, the strange heaviness that clings to your chest. These are not just moods. These are energetic invasions, residue from past soul contracts, karmic entanglements, and unconscious agreements. Michael is breaking them now. That's why you were ordered to open, because until you open, nothing can leave, and nothing sacred can enter. This is your spiritual emergency, not because you're in danger, but because your soul is suffocating under layers of spiritual noise. You need to breathe again, not with lungs, but with truth. You need to let the buried parts of you rise to the surface and be seen in the light. You've been too strong for too long. You've held yourself together for everyone else, but this moment isn't about holding. It's about releasing. Michael is clearing your timeline, past, present, and future. He's reaching into the threads of your life and pulling out what no longer belongs. Old betrayals, unspoken fears, silent burdens. Let them fall. There's a sacred silence that follows now. Not the silence of avoidance, but the silence of presence. Archangel Michael is standing beside you, not moving, just watching. He's letting you feel what it's like to be fully seen without judgment, fully held without having to explain. This is what divine protection feels like. Not loud, not dramatic, just real, just constant. You were never meant to carry this weight alone, and now you no longer have to. He is sending visions through your inner eye. Maybe you're remembering places, people, feelings you had forgotten. That's not your imagination. That's soul memory awakening. These fragments are surfacing because they need your permission to be released. Archangel Michael cannot override your will. He can fight beside you, he can burn away darkness. But only you can say yes to the light. Only you can choose to open. He reminds you now, your pain has not been wasted. Every tear has marked a spiritual portal. Every loss carved a new path. And every heartbreak was a clearing. You've been stripped down not to suffer, but to be rebuilt in truth. Stronger, softer, clearer, more divine. And the moment you say yes to this opening, a new frequency begins pulsing through your life. Relationships that were draining will fall away. Opportunities that align will appear. Dreams you gave up on will reawaken. Because your field will finally be your own again. This is not magic. It is law. It is alignment. It is what happens when truth replaces fear. You may feel a strange calm beginning to settle. Not the kind that comes from avoidance, but the deep kind that comes from soul recognition. Your spirit recognizes this energy. Archangel Michael has walked with you in lifetimes before. He has rescued you from lower realms. He has stood between you and forces you never even saw. And now, he's doing it again. Because your story is not over. It's barely beginning. But it cannot begin with a closed soul. It cannot rise with a heart still in chains. He says again, louder this time. This is a spiritual emergency. I order you to open. Archangel Michael's voice is like thunder wrapped in love. It does not shake you to scare you. It shakes you to awaken the part of your soul that stopped listening. He is not asking you politely, and that's important to understand. He is ordering you to open because the time is critical. Something is approaching, a turning point. a crossroads in your soul's journey that cannot be delayed. If you delay, you will feel more confusion. If you resist, you will feel more pressure. But if you open, truly open, you will begin to rise in a way you haven't in years, maybe ever. This moment you're in is not ordinary. It's not just another emotional day or a wave of spiritual curiosity. This is a divine summoning. You've been marked for awakening. Not because you're special in some egoic way, but because your timeline on earth has work that must be done, and your soul has waited too long. Archangel Michael is speaking through dreams, through signs, through this very message. He's calling the lost parts of your light back to you. The confidence you once had, the vision you once believed in, the joy that used to be your natural state. They're still here, but they've been buried under years of spiritual weight. And now, Michael is removing that weight. You may feel an ache in your body, heaviness in your shoulders, tightness in your chest, a lump in your throat. These are not random sensations. These are spiritual blockages beginning to break open. These are truths that were swallowed for too long, rising to the surface to be spoken. Say them. Not out loud if you're not ready, but say them to your heart. Say them with your breath. Say them through your tears. The pain you've been hiding is not a curse. It's the key to your release. Michael is showing you your own light now. You may not believe in it yet, but that doesn't matter. Heaven does. The angelic realm sees your essence even when you've forgotten it. They see the lifetimes where you healed others, the lifetimes where you were betrayed for speaking truth, the moments in this very life when you almost gave up but something made you hold on. That something is the very proof that your soul is connected to a divine current, a source of protection that never left, even when you stopped feeling it. And this divine source is speaking clearly now. I need you to remember. Not remember the pain, not remember the failures, but remember who you are without them. Who were you before the heartbreak, before the confusion, before you felt like you had to be small to be safe? That version of you is not gone. They are waiting, not in some distant future, but just behind the door of your spiritual opening. And Michael is standing at that door with you now, sword raised, hand extended, heart fierce, ready to walk you through. But this cannot happen while you remain in survival mode. It cannot happen if you stay addicted to numbing, to ignoring, to telling yourself you're fine when you're not. The emergency isn't about danger. It's about delay. Your soul cannot be delayed anymore. The gifts that live inside you, your voice, your compassion, your ability to see what others miss, these are urgently needed now. And Archangel Michael will not allow them to be buried any longer. The world around you may still seem normal, but in the spirit realm, everything is shifting. Battle lines are being drawn, light is being called into position, and souls like yours, awakened, wounded, ready, are being placed where they're needed most. You are not just being rescued, you are being reassigned, but only if you open, only if you stop pretending that everything is okay when your spirit has been screaming for help. Michael whispers now, softer than before but no less powerful. You are not too late. You are right on time. But you must choose now. You must open now. If your heart stirred, if your soul recognized the truth in these words, then know this message was not random. It was a spiritual intervention. Archangel Michael doesn't arrive unless the heavens are deeply involved in your journey. You are being protected. You are being called. You are being seen. Let this message sink into the deepest part of your being. Let it break through the illusions. Let it remind you of who you were before the world told you to forget. And if this message reached the part of you that's been silently praying for a sign, then allow yourself to receive it fully. Stay open, stay aware, and stay aligned with the divine presence that never left your side. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to Voice of the Divine for more powerful angelic guidance, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss the next sacred message when it arrives. Your soul is waking up. This is not the end. This is your beginning.